Hello, hi everyone. Hi, it's Jane Tara, and I'm doing What Are You Reading today with the very special guest, Lauren Chater. So it's so great to have you on here. And I know so many people love your books. Of course, Gulliver's Wife was one of them, and the latest one, this was, what was it, March or April this year? The Winter Dress. And I have seen I'll just move this over to comments. I've seen a lot of people on here comment about how they love this book. And I think it is one of the best historicals of the year. So we thought it'd be really nice to have Lauren on here. She can talk a bit about her books, what she's reading. Maybe give us a little insight into what you're working on, because I know you do have to deliver early next year. Yeah. So, and if you have any questions as well for Lauren, let's just ask them, but also tell us what you're reading. So, let's talk about the Winter Dress for a minute. Yeah. So I'll hold it up. You tell me a little bit, or tell our readers about the Winter Dress.
Yeah, so the Winter Dress is based on a real dress. So the story was inspired by this beautiful silk dress that was found at the bottom of the ocean in Holland, off the coast of Holland, a few years ago in 2018, I think, or 2014, sorry. And they brought these group of amateur divers, they brought this dress up. They didn't know what they'd found. They were rummaging around in this shipwreck, brought this dress up, hosed it down, hung it up in their clubhouse to dry, and then discovered, that they had found the sort of textiles, treasure of the century, basically.
Yeah.
Because textiles just don't last in the water for a very long time. There's all sorts of, dangers. But this dress has miraculously survived, and it survived because it was sandwiched in all this mud, in a box in these layers of mud, and so it wasn't oxidized. So it has survived all these years, kind of like a time traveler.
Yeah.
Seen all these amazing sort of things, lived through all these times. And so I wanted to write a story based on this dress, and it's the story of the dress and the woman who wore it, a 17th century laundress called Anna. And it's the story also of Jo, who is our modern kind of heroine, and she's a textiles historian, and she has to unravel the mystery of who wore the dress. So it's the two stories are woven together.
So if I can remember, you saw it. So did you read about it, or you actually saw it when you were in Europe?
I read about it first in an article in the New Yorker, and then I went over to Texel and was able to see it. So I actually was on the mainland in this archaeological facility where it was being preserved, and it's only just in the last few weeks gone on display for the first time since it was discovered on the island. It's back on the island, so everybody's happy. And it's amazing.
If you're traveling to Europe, here you go. But definitely, if you're not traveling to Europe but would like to through the pages of the book, this is a great Christmas one.
Good excuse to go.
Yeah. So look, it is actually a really great gift for anyone, for your girlfriends and for yourself over the Christmas holidays. And I know a lot of people here love it. So we've got, look at all these people coming in and saying hi. Carolyn Manners, hi Jane and Lauren, I'm Still Memorial by Brian Washington, and it's a good book so far. Can't find the time to read at the moment. I know it's that time of year. Hi Tracy, hi Kylie, hi Cindy, Gail, both excellent reads. Congratulations. Nice to see young upcoming authors. Absolutely. Yeah. I think she was talking about me.
Oh, yeah.
Lauren. Okay, yeah. Christine, hello. Kylie is reading The Girl Who Fell from the Sky.
That looks good, that one.
Now, you have one of the books that we love at the moment, and it is Heather Rose's new memoir. Tell us a little bit about that.
So Heather has written this beautiful memoir. Heather is an Australian author, and she lives in Tasmania, and she's written some gorgeous fiction, contemporary fiction, and sort of historical fiction. And so this is her latest book, and it's just a very heartbreaking and beautiful story. Heather is very brave.
I think so too.
Yeah, she's not just a very brave person, but to write bravely about her
Mm.
experiences. So I actually devoured this book. I read it in 2 days, day
Yeah.
and a half. So if you're looking for a book to take away over Christmas, I think, yeah, well, you need to pack a few more, because this one
Yeah.
you're just gonna eat up really quickly. But
Yeah, look,
definitely.
I agree, and I think it's actually one of my faves of the years.
Yeah.
So you know, out of my probably sort of 5 or 6, it's definitely on there. Okay, so last night we had an event with Bobby Palmer, Isaac and the Egg. The cover of it is up there, and that has been popular with our readers as well. If you didn't see his event, go on and check out the video because it's still on Facebook. And next week we have the fabulous Sarah Barry with her new book Retribution, which is out, and she always delivers, you know, really great, dark sort of crime thrillers. And actually, usually in Tasmania, I'm taking this home to read it over the weekend, so I haven't actually seen if that is. Another great one for Christmas reading is Judy Nunn. She always delivers, but this is actually a series of short stories, and reading it, I wasn't sure if they were stories or if they were her. So it's really quite unique. But at the end of each short story, she tells where the inspiration came from, and it was usually her life. And so it really is kind of a merging of her life into fiction, into some short stories. We have this week They're Going to Love You by Meg Howry, which is a moving novel about a ballet dancer and her family relationships, and this is a really great read as well. All right, I want to hear more about Gulliver's Wife now, because if you're going to buy some historicals for Christmas on the Christmas list, this is another fabulous one. And I love the way that you take women who were kind of written out of history, and then, you know, you give them a story.
Yeah.
Right? Because we all hear about Gulliver.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, what about his wife?
Well, yeah, he was the hero of his own
Yeah,
story.
yeah, of his own story.
Of his own story. So I wanted to give Mary a chance to tell her side of the story, and also to explore what life might have been like for those wives that were left behind when the men went to sea. They went off to have their grand adventures, and the women were left behind with all the domestic duties and having to earn enough money to cope, and survive, because the men weren't sending their money back,
putting it into the bank account.
They were just, so Gulliver is lost and presumed dead. And then Mary rebuilds her life. She becomes a midwife and has his 2 children to look after. Bess, who is 14, 15, quite kind of rebellious, and her little boy, Johnny. And then Gulliver, miraculously, I don't think this is giving anything away, returns. So he's talking about these little people, this island of little people that he saved from destruction. And so Mary has to unravel the mystery of where he actually has been and whether he is mad or telling the truth.
It is a great read. I love it so much. And, I know a lot of people here have read it, but if you haven't, get hold of it. Gulliver's Wife, we do love this. And don't you get the best covers?
I know. Very lucky.
Yeah. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I know a lot of you love Kathy Reichs. Cold, Cold Bones is the 21st novel in the series of, Temperance Brennan. And she just keeps on giving. Actually, there's 2 great authors like that, because this is Nora Roberts, who I think is she's like a machine. Like, she keeps on, putting out. And I know a lot of you love her. I also really like Nora Roberts. And I always tell young writers, if they're wanting to kind of know more about writing, don't poo-poo this woman. Like, go and get her books, because she is a masterclass in plotting and also in delivering. Like, this is, she's got about 200 novels written. So this is the 3rd and final book in the Dragonheart fantasy series. She does crime, she does romance, she does fantasy. So this is the 3rd one in that series. It's a fantastic read. Number 21 in that series. Don't you love some women, female authors who are out there just churning them out? It's great. Yeah. It's great, because I know there's a few male authors out there who have other writers helping them.
Yes, that's
true. So, and if you're looking for a great podcast to listen to, is the Patty Manning podcast out now or this week? It's out now. So Patty Manning sat down and spoke to Cheryl about The Successor. It is the biography of Lachlan Murdoch. It is a very good conversation. And, of course, we all know that Cheryl loves a good, political Barney and getting in there and everything. And Patty did very, very well staying on track talking about this book. It's a great conversation, actually. So if you listen to the podcast, go and check that one out. What else have you got there?
So I have the new Maggie O'Farrell, The Marriage Portrait, which is the one that I've just been reading. This is a book that is based on a poem, My Last Duchess by Robert Browning, and it is a 19th century poem. And it's the story of Lucrezia de Medici, and she was a young woman in Renaissance Italy. She was 17 when she died in mysterious circumstances and strongly suspected that her husband might have killed her. So, so Maggie O'Farrell of Hamnet fame, her last book, which was very, very popular, she has woven a fictional story around this poem and this, which was based on, it's a true story. So it's very dark. From the outset, we already know that Lucretia suspects that she's going to be killed by her husband. So then the rest of the story is told in sort of chunks of her backstory, and we find out what really happened. But there's also a twist. Even though you think it's going to happen at the end, Maggie has some surprises in store for you. So it's still worth reading and keeping an open mind.
We did review that one here. I didn't get to read it, but we're coming up to the Christmas holidays, and there's a handful that I've got there on my bedside table. I've actually said to someone last night, it's probably how I'm going to die. Like all my to be read pile is going to fall on me.
What a way to go!
Yeah. So Vivian says hi. Cindy says I'm reading Darry Fraser's The Good Woman of Renmark. Well, she has a new book coming out next week, actually, so keep an eye out for that, and a lot of other books. She's got a pile of 7 books. Be careful, make sure they don't fall on you. It'll be like me, Cindy. So hi ladies, this is Kim, just finished Libby Trickett's memoir Beneath the Surface, really good. Jane says just finished Both of You by Adele Parks, weird ending, now reading Sweet Wattle Creek by Kay Dobby, very good. Cindy says, I enjoyed The Marriage Portrait. We seem to have a little bit of a tech glitch, so we'll just, we've stopped on the comments there, but that's fine. Show us Emma's book, because I love Emma Harcourt, and this is a great read. Yeah.
So Emma's book is sort of set in the same period as Maggie O'Farrell's, and I think it's equally beautiful, and but it's not, I would suggest it's not perhaps as dark. So Maggie's book made me want to run away from Italy, and Emma's book made me want to visit Italy. So it's the story of Luna, who is a young girl born with a disability, but she doesn't let that stop her from chasing her dream to become an astronomer. So her father lets her, encourages her to read and to expand her mind, and she becomes sort of obsessed with the night sky. And then she meets Copernicus, Copernicus, the astronomer, and he has these sort of heretical ideas, which sort of throw into question, ideas of religion and marriage and gender relations. And so Luna has to sort of navigate this very dangerous political landscape, because there is a preacher, Savronella, and I don't know if you ever read Sarah Dunnett's The Birth of Venus, but that preacher features in that book extensively as well. So a really good book, really beautiful cover. Like, I actually think better than Maggie O'Farrell. Gorgeous cover. So definitely worth putting that in your stocking as well.
It is. It's absolutely stunning, and it's a great read. Another great read, great one for summer, The Work Wives by Rachel Johns. We all love Rach, and actually Cheryl did a podcast with her this morning, a What Are You Reading podcast. Now stay tuned for this, because over the summer when we're closed and we don't have this segment, we are putting out a What Are You Reading podcast with, authors and some publishers and a couple of booksellers. And so that is going to be available, and there will be more information about that coming. Also, if you like self-development and, you know, self-help and lifestyle and wellness and all of my woo-woo, you know, area that I love, don't forget to go onto Instagram and like Better Reading Bee. Because we're building that up at the moment, and we're going to have lots of different reviews and stuff on there, and also some prizes, some competitions. And speaking of prizes, on the 14th of December, Wednesday night, our 8 p.m. event is our annual Christmas party. And you must tune in for that. We have book vouchers, we have merch, we have lots of prizes to give away. Just like last year, we gave away 10 $100 book vouchers. We're doing that. We're going to just have authors here and beaming in and having a lot of fun. And you know, Cheryl and I love a bottle of bubbles, and that is going to happen too. So make sure you have your own bottle of bubbles at home and tune in 8 p.m. on the 14th. And yeah, that's our Christmas party, which we love. Now, the last one there that I want to hear about is Nell Gwyn.
Yes.
And this is tying into research for your next novel that you have to deliver next year.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah.
Time is ticking now.
Yeah.
So Nell Gwyn, this is a biography of Nell Gwyn. She was an 17th century actress, and she was actually one of Charles II's chief mistresses. She was one of his favorite mistresses because she was just so fun.
Yeah.
And she was an actress, you know, and he was very into performance, and he'd opened up the playhouses again during the Restoration period in the 1660s, and women were allowed on the stage for the first time, which was so exciting. So it was like the dawn of new woman, the new woman really. And I'm writing, my next manuscript is called Beauties, and it is about a series of portraits, these beautiful, basically the 17th century version of Victoria's Secret models. They were the most beautiful women at court, at the Restoration court, and they were specially chosen for their beauty and their intelligence and their wit. And it's the story of how they came to, you know, seduce the king, but also what their beauty was worth, you know, and what a woman's currency is worth and is still worth. And so the paintings have their own voice, and also so that they narrate parts of the story. It's like a Greek chorus. So it's going to be really fun.
I really hope you have no Christmas plans, because I want you to get that finished. And I bag set to review, because that sounds fabulous. It sounds fabulous. So we are going to go. We've had a little bit of a glitch. I see some comments coming back through. Tracy, your Christmas parties are always fun. They are. So make sure you are there, Tracy, and everyone else. What time is the Christmas do? It's 8 p.m. So, and it goes for, our events go for half an hour, but usually we're drinking and having so much fun that they go for about 45 minutes. So, yeah, so definitely tune in, and lots of prizes, lots of fun. And Lauren, thank you so much for coming today. Gulliver's Wife, and of course, you know, earlier this year, The Winter Dress, and go and get writing on that latest book, because I love the sound of it, and we'll see you when it comes out. Okay, bye everyone. See you.